Hi everyone, and welcome to Jack and Cat Adventures. Today we're going to be making delicious creamy mashed potatoes. So you're going to start with 5 pounds of washed and peeled and sliced potatoes. I'm only doing a half of a batch because we don't have that many people here to eat it. This is a great recipe to go down or go up in quantity. Well, however much you need, it will work, okay? The nice thing about this is you can make it like a day or two before you need it. Put it all together, and it goes into like a 9 by 13 or 11 by 7, something like that. And you can put it in the refrigerator in about a half hour to an hour before you put it in your oven. Take it out and then put it in the oven for the allotted time, and you have fresh mashed potatoes, okay? So we're gonna let these boil until they're fork tender. Alright, so my potatoes are fork tender. I'm gonna drain them. Okay? And then you're going to put your pan back on the heat. What you want is your pan to get pretty hot on the bottom. And then what you're going to do is you're going to put your drained potatoes back in your pan, and you're going to stir them to get that moisture out of them. I'm just going to throw them back in the pan, and I'm just going to stir them. Now I'm going to shut my pan off because it's hot. Kind of let them steam. See all that steam coming off of them? That's what you're looking for. You want to keep turning them to get all that steam off. This will make a nice creamy potato, not a watery potato, if you just take the time to do this, okay? Now with these potatoes, you want them fork tender. Make sure they are fork tender. So I'm only doing a half of a recipe, but the recipe for you guys will be a full recipe, okay? So in here, let's see what I got going here. Okay, you need to get softened cream cheese. I'm using 3 ounces, or 4 ounces, I'm sorry, it calls for 8. I'm using a 1/4 teaspoon of Lowry's seasoned salt. Mine ain't Lowry's, but it is seasoned salt. And I'm doing a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, 6 tablespoons of butter, and let me see, a 1/4 cup to a half a cup of half and half or heavy cream or whole milk. But we did warm up the liquids, okay? This is looking pretty good. Still seeing steam come off, so I'm going to turn it back on for a little bit, just for a second or two. And I'm going to do everything in this pan. Now, you'll need like a 9 by 13 pan if you're making the full recipe. Make sure you butter it really well, okay? Alright, so while my pan is still on the warm burner, I'm going to start mashing them. You could do this all by hand if you want to. I don't want to. Once you get them whipped up a little bit, now we're going to add our ingredients. Now if you need more milk, you're going to have to heat up a little more milk, okay? It all depends on how moist your potatoes were left. Also, I put garlic in mine, and what I did was I just peeled the garlic and I put it in whole cloves just in my boiling potatoes, and it'll mix in, it'll be soft enough to mix in with all your potatoes. That's optional. If you don't want to do that, you don't have to. So now we're just going to mix this together really good. Oh my god, it smells so good, you guys. I'm going to scrape my pan. Now make sure you don't put too much liquid in this because you don't want them runny. You want just enough because they will be baking in the oven for a while. Okay, I'm going to try and get the rest of these lumps out and then we'll go to the next step. Alright, I think that might be done. You want to come taste them, Jack? See if it needs anything else. I always like to have an outsider opinion.
Those are good.
Good, okay. So then what you're going to do is you're going to pour this into your pan, your prepared pan, okay?
Don't waste no potatoes.
Yeah. Okay. Just going to pour this right in my prepared pan. Now, you can top this with cheddar cheese if you'd like. You can leave them plain, whatever you want. So now I'm not going to bake these off right now. I'm going to bake them in a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this all even. Okay. And then we're going to cover this and put it in the refrigerator. Take it out between a half hour to an hour before you want to bake it. You're going to bake it at 350 until the potatoes are warmed through, and you're going to put some pats of butter on top of this also before you put it in the oven. Once the butter's melted and the potatoes are heated through, sometimes they get a little bit of brown on them. That's perfect. That's when you take them out, okay? Alright, so we're ready to put our potatoes in the oven. I'm just going to put a few pats of butter on top. Just all over. It doesn't really matter. Okay, and then I am going to put some paprika on top, just a little bit to give it some color and a little bit of flavor. This is optional, you don't have to do it, but it really makes the potatoes look nice when they come out of the oven, okay? That's all you need. Into a 350-degree oven until the butter is all melted and the potatoes are heated through, and you'll see a little bit of brown coming on them. That's when they're done. Alright, so here's our finished mashed potatoes. See how pretty the paprika makes it? You can even put this in for a little bit longer, but I like just to get just slightly brown around the edges. It's really good. And don't forget, these are make ahead, so for Thanksgiving you can make them 2 days in advance. Just pull them out about 30 minutes to an hour, whatever, before you want to bake them so they get to room temperature and your glass don't break, okay? So please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And remember, you do you.